Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, good to be back with you here again, and it's good to finally get this season on the road. It's been a long, long wait, as it hasn't been a long wait for you, but it's definitely been a long wait for me as I've been trying to go through everything in the background. We're going into season number 3, and let's hope that we can win this first match. This is going to be a big one, of course. We are playing here against Vaiala Tongan again, which is a team that beat us, I think, last time we played against them. So let's see what we can do. And this is, as you know already, the first match of the season, which means that there's nothing to worry about in terms of who's in what position. What a strange and unusual place for us to be in. Black Roses have already won their first match of the season, and so we'll see how we do here today. We have almost completely changed a squad, just a few players who have survived the major purge of inconsistency, and let's see what happens. The big risk, of course, is that I took away good players and replaced them with worse players who just so happen to not be inconsistent. Palipua wins that one over to Kalliope, over to Loke, over to Nusilia, to the other Nusilia, and then down to Kalliope there on the right side. He crosses this one over to Nusilia, and the ball comes down to him, and he has a shot on goal. He just can't figure out where the goal is. Not a bad attempt, though, in the first minute of this match. And they have possession, but we have won it back. It's Nusilia on the right side, and he has the ball taken straight away from him. And that's something that hopefully we won't have to get too used to here as we move along. But let's see what happens. And they take a shot on goal, and it is up above everybody's head and out for a bunch of nothing. Our goaltender's name is Ikuvalu, but it's not the same one. It's a new Ikuvalu. So we're going to have to figure out who we're going to call everybody, since we have a number of players here with the same surname. And it's going to be interesting to see this team in action. We've done fairly well here in the friendlies, with the exception of losing to our under-18 team again. That's exactly what happened at the beginning of last season, right before the beginning of last season. And this time it was a little bit more embarrassing since, and we've given up a goal here. This time it was more embarrassing. Fortunately, that was disallowed for being offside. This time that was a more embarrassing loss for us because the under-18s team is completely grayed out. I got rid of a whole ton of players who, frankly, I didn't want to play on the senior team at any point in time in the future. And we still managed to lose to them. Poli here with a throw-in into Nusilia. Looking over there, can't quite find the man for the cross, and Loke barely misses that goal. It's Robert Kalliope, another new signing, who grabs that one and has scored in his debut, and it's 1-0 for PanSa East FC, just like that. So it's not a bad way to start it. 1-0 here in the early going, and we're playing pretty well, aren't we? Started the third season, and hopefully we've been able to get a lot of the jitters out. That should have been a goal. That was just barely off of the top of the bar. Kalliope there scoring, and that's much better than what we saw last season, where we would have guys on that right side who would knock that one completely wide of goal. Famuana, another new player here, throws that one into Nusila, and it goes down to Poli. Poli looking forward to Talilawi, and he passes into Nusila. N.A. is going to probably be our star striker, honestly. He's the oldest striker we have in the club now at age 25, and is a real leader. I think that I have him as the vice captain, if I remember right, and this is a very, very good player who hopefully will be around for some time to come. 2-0 for PanSa East FC. This is a little bit more like it. This is what we were hoping that we were going to see last season, and we didn't see anything even close to that. As you can see, I'm still using the shadow striker role here in this tactic. We got rid of the secondary striker because it just didn't work as well last season as we were hoping. Nusilia is looking for NA and can't quite find him. This is a lump back and forward. Bikuvalu is there to grab it. And he will kick this over to Twalalele. Twalalele is a name you should be familiar with. He's still on this club. Tai Lao Lee, who is also still on this club, now with the ball, over to Kalliope. Kalliope over to the other Kalliope, and he finds Ene for goal number 2 for him. Third of the season, third of the match for the team. And we are up 3-0 just like that. That was a very, very well-executed move. And this is what happens when your players are consistent. When your players are consistent, you see moves like this that all of a sudden become possible. And you don't have to worry so much about guys doing really stupid things when they have the ball. 3-0 now for PanSa East FC. We are in first place, a position we have not been in for quite some time, and hopefully we will not wear out our welcome. Kalliope with it, lumps this one forward for Eni. Again, is he going to get 3? Yes, he will. That's his third goal, and third goal in the space of about 10 minutes. So I think we might have something good on our hands here. This is a much, much different look than I think we've had at all. And NA here is just completely on fire. Look at that! Look at that strike, and it's 4-0 for PanSa East FC. We're only 20 minutes in this match. I don't think I've ever seen this team play so well so quickly. Palipua here, another old name to New Zealand, over to NA. NA back to Palipua. Palipua lumps this one forward looking for NA, and he can't quite get onto that, but he gets onto the ball from there and almost scores number 4. That would have been crazy. 4 goals in the first 25 minutes of the match. Instead, they have a counter attack. We better get back. We don't want to give up a lot of goals here. Palipua barely gets a foot back onto that one, but unfortunately kicks it right at a defender. That one is blocked right at the last second, and it's out for a corner for them. So a lot of action here in the first match of the season, and I don't think we're going to put in any of these always press instructions. I was worried there that Calliope, notice that both of our Calliopas have names that start with R. I was worried that one of the two was going to end up pulling up lame with an injury, but fortunately he didn't. Twalaulele with it, looks for NA, can't find him, and ends up lumped forward, but Twalaulele is just not able to get back onto that one. I thought that he had it there for a second. This is a good old amateur play where we're still working on some of the basic fundamentals, like what the ball is and where it is, and that's a really nice goal by Sekuno Vaiala. And that makes it 4-1. That was a really nice shot, and not really much anybody could do about that one. This is a nice shot from outside the box, and it was a mistake there by the defender who went for the interception and then completely missed everything. But that's all right as long as that doesn't become a trend. 4-1 now the score. And let's see if we can make sure that they don't come back into this one, especially not in the first half. That would be quite frustrating. This is a lump forward, but Palipua is able to get back onto it. Knocks it back to Ikuvalu. Ikuvalu over to Poli. Poli with an out. Walks it upfield over to Calliope. Back to Poli. Poli lumps it forward looking for NA, and he's not anywhere close to it. I took a lot of the player or the team instructions off, hoping to give these guys a little bit more freedom. But the problem is they do that from time to time. NA with it now. Over to Tailauli. Tailauli lobs it forward for one of the Calliopas. I'm not sure which one that was. Maybe that was Rock, and he barely misses a goal there. That should have been a pretty easy goal, in my opinion. You can see here NA with it over to Tailauli again, and there are a couple different players he could have chose, and he chose that Calliope, and that was a really, really well-designed move that just didn't quite work out in the end. Famuana now here with the corner, and he steps back and delivers over to Twalaulele, and unfortunately he's unable to score. And there's a throw now for Vaiala Tongan, but we are able to grab onto that cross before it causes any problems. Ikuvalu with it now. He's going to kick this one forward. Again, not exactly what I want him to do. I want him to get rid of it short, but we've had some problems with goaltenders not following instructions. Calliope here now with the ball, and he knocks this forward, finds NA, and this should be number 4, I think, and it is. NA New Zealand with his 4th goal of the match, 4th goal of the season. It's 5-1. He scored 4 goals here in the first half. And I think we are witnessing something really, really special and different and exciting here. Nobody had this guy on, the player of the league or any list like that. In fact, my own assistant manager really wants Toa Maile to be the starting striker. I personally would rather put him down on the under-18s, which might be where he winds up going, because we have a number of good strikers here, but NA is just absolutely awesome. At least he's been awesome so far in this match. Our problem, of course, is defense. Ledoux here with the corner, and that's knocked out, and New Zealand is going to run after that one, NA, and can't quite catch up to it. And let's see what happens here. It's PanSa with the little cross that's a floater, and Ikuvalu is able to grab onto that one, walks around with it a little bit, and then throws it over to Twalaulele. Twalaulele over to Poli on the other side of the defense. Poli with it. Walks it up a little bit over to Calliope, to the Rock Calliope that time, over to New Zealand, back to this Calliope. Looking for Loke and just can't quite find him, and they have a chance at a counterattack, so let's see what we can do. Not looking at any really awful performances, I think, by us so far, although that was pretty bad. Sekoni Vaiala scores a second. It's 5-2 now. And, we should have done a little bit more here on defense to get in front of this. We're looking a little bit confused as to exactly where we should be positioned. I'm trying to get the defenders to come back a little bit more than that, but they were too busy watching the ball and not busy enough watching the defender. There is some concern of offside there. That might be a close call. You could argue that that was actually offside, and that might be why our defenders are feeling furious. Ikuvalu now lumps this one forward over to Kaleopa, who has it. Rock with it over to Poli. Poli with the ball now wide open, all alone, and he's trying to find Kaleopa and just can't. And probably should have had a more direct pass than that, but it's all right. Loke now with it over to Kaleopa again. Kaleopa, and he's going to take a shot, and that was not what he should do. He needs to pass. He needs to pass when he has 3 or 4 guys in front of him like that. And we are just about to the end of the first half, and it's only the first half as Palipua is able to get his foot onto that one and is able to get onto this one as well. Again, trying to find NA, and he's just not ready for it. Palipua wins this one in the air now. Kaleopa with it. Kaleopa looking again up for NA. He's double teamed, and he's passes to the other Kaleopa, but Rock has it taken away from him, and now we've really got to get back. This is the danger man, and fortunately we are able to get back on that one and at least prevent that attack to an extent. And let's see what happens here. We need to get this ball off of them, and it's well played. Loke ends up with it over to Tailaului, over to Nusla, and that is the end of the first half. So it's been quite a lengthy and extended amount of time here in the first half. Tailaului having a pretty poor time of it, so we're going to make a couple of little changes here. And let's see what we can do here in the second half. Yeah, Tailaului not having a great match. We're going to put Pamatua in there. Pamatua is a very, very young player. Let's see what he can do for us. Already have NA on a 10 rating so far, so we'll watch him and see how he does. But yeah, 4 goals in the first half is not bad on your debut. And that has me holding out some hope here for the future. Maybe we can get back in this Champions League after winning the league this season. Let's see what happens. Ikuvalu here kicks this one forward and finds Tailaului over to NA. NA with it. He's got a man. Finds Kaleopa, but he's got to be offside. Rock Kaleopa this would be his first goal of the season, but now he's offside. He's pretty clearly offside. He's standing up there wide open with nobody even close to around him. Yeah, he's offside by about the length of a city block, I would say. And so still remains 5-2 for PanSa East FC. I don't think we scored 5 goals in a match all last season. So there's a lot of positives to take away from this one, at least so far, but we have to hold on. And the problem is that we have a whole bunch of time left. NA with it over to Kaleopa. Kaleopa knocks that one down to Famoana, who's barely done anything with it so far. It's Tailaului with it, and he can't quite control it. And this ends up with them for a goal kick. They work it out slowly, and we are able to intercept in midfield again. Rock looking for Richard Kaleopa, can't quite find him. And now we need to get back and play defense. And here's that danger man once again. And Sekoni Vaiali has scored his hat trick, and I'm not very happy with that one. I don't really want to see that replay, and we need to do a little bit more than this. We need to do a little bit better because they are coming back into this match, and they're feeling frustrated by the feedback. But Hengi Poli hasn't done much of anything, and Famoana also needs to be taken off. After this highlight, we're going to take these guys off and see if we can do a little bit better, because what is that from Famoana is absolutely awful. And yeah, this is a problem because we're giving up possession again too easily and too quickly. That's one of the reasons why I put all of the special instructions on last season, because I saw us giving up possession like it was nobody's business. Elama Fatonu, who is 30 years old, is going to come on that side, and then Pedro Palipua is going to come on the other. So we'll see how these guys do. And hopefully we can do something to stem the tide and make sure that we actually win this match. I would hate to see a match like this and have us end up losing. We have about 10 minutes left, and we're up by 2 goals. I would love to see another goal, but it's them with the free kick. This is lumped forward and then hit over by Malapuasa, who is onside, and that makes this a 1-score match. They have come all the way back, and I'm very, very frustrated with this. I know the players are frustrated with the feedback, but there's no way that that sort of free kick should work. That was ridiculous. Over the entire wall, and you look at it, and yeah, he is onside just barely, because the defender who was on him decided to stand there and look down at his shoes. And so it remains, it's a 5-4 match now. We still have the lead, but not by much. And they have the ball again, this time for a throw, and we need to win this one somewhere in midfield and not just give up possession when we have it. Loke lumps this forward for Ene over to Kaleopa. Kaleopa looks forward that was for Ene, and that should have been number 5 for him. Wouldn't that be amazing if you score 5 goals in your first match, your opening day? Palipua to the other Palipua now. Lumped forward for Tailau Lee. Tailau Lee has it, lumps this one on forward for Ene. I mean, it works, but I'd rather see us hold on to possession than try for that every single time, because this is what happens on the other end. It's Moy with it, and he scores. King Moy, who we let go of, has scored his first goal for Vaiala Tongan, and that was really, really poor. And I'm very, very upset. I'm very, very upset that this worked, and we need to win this. Kaleopa lumps this forward for Tua, whose header is just over the bar. We have about 5 minutes left of injury time. This has been a really, really ridiculous match, I'll tell you that. Iguvalo kicks this one over to Fa'atonu. Fa'atonu lumps it forward for Kaleopa and finds nothing. Kaleopa wins this one in midfield, but then loses it again. Palipua, who just came on, over to Tailau Lee. Tailau Lee's got to pass instead of taking that shot. And, that was not what we want him to do. We want him to pass. We don't want him to shoot. It's Palipua who wins this one again in midfield, but unfortunately we lose it as soon as we want it. And are they going to win this match? Oh, man. Fortunately for us, their right winger doesn't know where the goal is, but that was pretty scary. We're having some pretty poor performances here from players in our defense, especially on both right and left back. And I'm really, really concerned about this because this is looking bad. I hope that this is not a sign of things to come for the rest of the season. Kaleopa with it over to Loke. We've got about 3 guys standing there offside, and they don't even know it. Loke has to pass back, and he has to pass backwards because we don't know what the offside rule is, and that's going to be the end of the match. Ends up 5-5. It's a match that we really should have won. We had a 2.90 XG to their 1.56. We barely maintained possession. I'm going to go make some tactical changes because this was a ridiculous match, and I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.